Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Charles in Charge Cowboys Sports Report. It is June 12th, almost 11 p.m. Central Time, my time. If you're watching, you have not subscribed, I implore you, hit that red subscribe button. It is free. I'm at 326. My goal is to get to 1,000 by week 1 this season. If I can reach that goal, ladies and gentlemen, this channel will morph into something special. You will not regret hitting that button. I'll be able to put back in the channel, get a mic, studio equipment, sound bites, a desktop just for this, film graphics, and the whole 9 yards to go with the 30 years of watching this team I've got up here, playing the game my whole life, and then add the bells and whistles in with the call-in line just like Law has. And I would be glad y'all subscribed and helped me get there. I can't get there alone. I need y'all's help, DC Nation. Got a very interesting topic to hit on tonight. Won't take up a lot of your time. But if I can get to 1,000 by week 1 this season, it'll be perfect timing because the call-in line will be up and running before and after every game. Y'all can call in, agree with me, disagree with me, or we can just agree to disagree. We are a nation and a family, Cowboys Nation. We bleed the same blood, silver and blue. So show a brother some love on the count of 3. Please hit that subscribe button. This seems to work for Mike Fisher. I'm going to try it out. 1, 2, 3. Hit that subscribe button. If you did, you are a real one. I love you for it. And on 3, if we can hit that like button. On the count of 3. 1, 2, and 3. Everybody hit like. I appreciate you for doing that. Help me get to where I want to go. Now, the title of this video is Dak Dakota Rain Prescott. Dak P. Can Prescott, who has more haters in the NFL than any other player in the league, can he get us over the hump? Can Prescott, the man who has playoff woes, it seems like he has the playoff monkey on his back. He can look great in the regular season. He can put up the points. Last 2 seasons, we were number 1 in offense and number 4 in offense. He can do that, but when it comes to the playoffs, for some reason, it seems like he seems to lose his edge or the stage gets too big for him. I got some news for y'all, guys. He's not the only quarterback to have had that happen to him. My personal favorite quarterback, besides Troy is number 1 and will always be number 1. Aikman is my man. A close second, only because he never wore the star, is Peyton Manning. I loved Peyton Manning. I was very sad to see him go after the 2015 season, but I was also happy to see him go out on top. Even though it was the defense of that Broncos team that won him the Super Bowl. I don't care how he got it. I'm just glad that he got it. Now, this is going to be a short, similar comparison between the two quarterbacks. Not saying that Dak holds a candle to Peyton, because he does not. Let me clarify this before y'all shank me with a butter knife, as Law would say. Dak does not hold a candle to Peyton Manning. But in the regular season, Dak sometimes can light up the offense and look Manning-esque. Can't say he doesn't. I mean, he could put up those 30, 40-point games on an average basis, especially, the latter 3 years of his career opposed to the first 4. Check this out, guys. Peyton was drafted in 98, right? To the Colts, number 1 overall out of Tennessee. First season there, they go 3-13. Rookie quarterback. That's a game that I said Peyton. I mean, it's a season where he threw 6 interceptions in a game. He was just learning. In 99, they go from 3-13 to 13-3. At that time, that was the biggest flip from a team from one year to the next. Nobody had ever had a 10-game swing from one season to the next, from 98 to 99. Actually, the Rams did the same thing. So them and the Rams did it simultaneously. And they go 13-3. They get the number 2 seed. The number 1 seed was grabbed by Denver. Now, I think no, Denver didn't have the 1 seed. Google was tripping. Denver had the 1 seed in '98. Anyways, they had the number 2 seed. They had the triplets. They had Manning, Harrison, and James. Unstoppable offense. I mean, the offense was rolling, baby. In '99, they played the Cowboys. John Madden said, he thought the team was a year away from really being good. And that was a game that Prime had a punt return for a touchdown, but didn't because he couldn't beat the punter. And Dion always said if he ever made eye contact with the punter, it was over. And the punter chased him down. That was the start of the end of Prime. We end up losing that game because Chad Bradsky hits Troy on the blind side, gets a strip sack fumble, and the Patriots defeat us that season. They go 13-3. They host Tennessee in the second round. They lose 16-19. Peyton Manning's first playoff game. They lose 16-19. Manning could only muster 16 points, 1 touchdown that game. That prolific offense that they had. Okay, only a second year. Let's go to his third year. They finished 10-6, the number 6 seed. They go to Miami in the wild card round. They lose 17-23. Manning can only muster 17 points against Miami. The game went to overtime, 17-all, and Miami scores. I believe that game was the one where their running back took it like 80 yards. Lamar Lathan or something like that was his name. This is a long time ago. I've got a memory like an elephant. Tell you I've got a Rolodex up here. So Manning's first 2 playoff games, scored 16 and 17. In 2001, they go 6-10. They miss the playoffs. They started that year with 2 big wins, high-scoring wins. That was the year of Tom Brady. Now, the Patriots and the Colts were in the same division until 2002. And they start 2-0, and then they lose the next 3. Patriots beat them 2 out of the next 3 games. They played them, and then the Colts played somebody else, and they played the Patriots again. Patriots blew them out twice. That was the beginning of Tom Brady getting the best of Peyton. So they didn't make the playoffs, of course. Go to 2002. 2002, we're here now. The divisions are realigned. Colts go from the AFC Central to the AFC South with Tennessee, Houston, and Jacksonville. Colts finish 10-6 with the 5 seed. And they go to the wild card round. They go to the Jets. They lose 41-0. Peyton Manning puts up a goose egg at the Jets. So Peyton's first 3 playoff games, he puts up 16, 17, and a goose egg. I mean, this man, to me, is the greatest quarterback to ever play the game. Peyton is, my opinion, better than TB12. That's a whole other topic. So they get blown out 41-0, the wild card round of the 2002 season. The 2003 season, which would be 98, 99, 2001, 2, which would be Peyton's 6th year. The 2000 season, they finished 12-4. They're the number 3 seed. In Peyton's 6th year, he gets his first playoff win. Because his first 5 years, they were talking about this guy can't win in January. I mean, he's great in the regular season, but he can't win in January. So in the 2003 season, they finished 12-4, number 3 seed. They host Denver in the first round. They rout them, 41-10. Then they go to Kansas City, who was the number 1 seed that year. And they win a shootout with them, 38-31. So Manning, after can't win a playoff game, can't score over 17 in the playoff game, puts up 41 and 38 in back-to-back playoff games in 2003. Then goes to New England for the championship game. He only went to 1 championship game in his first 8 seasons. Go to New England, they lose 14-24. Again, Peyton loses a playoff game because he stalls. He can't put the points up. 14. For Peyton Manning, that's very low. 14-24. So the next season, 2004, Colts offense breaks every single season offensive record. Peyton Manning throws 49 touchdowns that year. At the time, that was the record until Brady broke it in 07 with 50. And then Manning took it back in 2013 with like 56 or whatnot. So this offense is averaging like 38 a game. Hosts Denver in the wild card round, blows them out again, 49-24. Then goes to New England and loses 3-20. They can only muster a field goal at the Patriots. So back-to-back seasons, they fall at New England, putting up 14 and putting up 3. So Manning puts up 3, but they got to the championship game that year. The next season, they are primed and ready for the Super Bowl. They go 14-2, lock up the 1 seed, home field advantage. They host Pittsburgh in the divisional round. And with Mike Vanderjagt to tie it up, to go into overtime, misses a field goal. They lose 18-21. Peyton could only muster up 18 points that game. And that offense wasn't as good as the 04 offense, but in 05, they were still putting up a lot of points. They still had their triplets. They had the early triplets was Manning, Harrison, Edgerrin James, and then it was Manning, Harrison, and Joseph Adai. 18-21. Peyton could only put up 18 points. In the regular season, he would sleep and put 30 points on the board. He puts up 18. Then in 2006, his 9th season, his defense steps up in a big way. And they finished 12-4. Another 12-win season, but they're the 3 seed. It happened to them a lot, it seems like. They finished 12-4 3 times and were the 3 seed each time. You would think that would be enough to beat the 2 seed and get a bye week. So the wild card round, they host Kansas City, beat them 23-8. Peyton doesn't blow up the scoreboard, but the defense holds KC to 8 points. And then they go on the road to Baltimore, defensive battle. No touchdown scored. They win 15-6. Hard-fought battle. Then they host New England. The 2 wildcard teams make it to the championship game. And as y'all know, New England goes up 21-3 early. Looks like New England's about to do it to them again. And Peyton Manning has an epic comeback and wins the game 38-34. Puts up 38 points in that championship game. And then against Chicago, they win 29-17, win the Super Bowl in Manning's 9th season. So you look at Peyton in his illustrious career. His first playoff win was in his 6th season against Denver and KC. His first 3 playoff games, he scores 16 at home against Tennessee, 17 on the road against Miami, and gets shut out at the Jets. And then in 03, only puts up 14 at the Patriots. The year after, only puts up 3 at the Patriots. The year after that, only puts up 18 at home against Pittsburgh. Now we'll go to Dak. 2016, 13-3, the number one seed. Play Green Bay. Dak puts up 31 points in that game. We didn't have a very good defense. We lose 31-34, as you all know. Rodgers, with that 7 seconds left, somehow throws a rope to the sideline. Jared Cook catches it, goes out of bounds, and with a second left, only Rodgers could do that. 2017, we go 9-7, miss the playoffs. Zeke's suspension year. 2018, finished 10-6. We are the number 4 seed. We host Seattle. We beat Seattle 24-22. That gets his first playoff win. Then we go to the Rams, take an early 7-3 lead, but our defense cannot stop the run. Todd Gurley and Anderson both get 100 yards on the ground. Gurley had 1 leg. We lose 22-30. 2019 start off 3-0, finish 8-8, miss the playoffs. 2020, as we all know, Dak breaks his leg week 5, I believe, finish 6-10. 2021, we go 12-5. We go to San Fran and lose 17-23. Dak can only muster 17 points. First time in his postseason career that he scored under 20. Then the following year, last year, finished 12-5 again. We are the number 5 seed now, opposed to the 4 seed. We go to Tampa, beat them 31-14. Then we go to San Fran, lose 12-9. Only the second time, Prescott failed to score over 20 in a playoff game. San Fran has been our Achilles heel the last 2 seasons with that top-notch defense they had. You could almost correlate that to 03 and 04 with Peyton Manning when he goes to New England and loses 14-24, where Dak loses 17-23 against San Fran, even though that was at home. 14-24, 17-23. Pretty similar. Following season in the divisional round, Manning can only put up 3 points against his bitter rival, Patriots. They lose 3-20. We go to San Fran after winning the first game, the wild card game. In 04, they beat Denver 49-24. Basically whooped Denver. We whooped Tampa Bay. We go to San Fran, lose 12-19. Peyton could only muster up 3. Dak could only muster up 12. Because that Patriots defense was the best defense in 03 and 04, as the Niners defense was the best defense last year and the year before that. Now Prescott is going into his 8th year. In Manning's 8th year, 14-2, number 1 seed, lose against Pittsburgh in the first game. They were heavily favored, 18-21. And then in Manning's 9th season, they put it together and make a run. Now Dak, going into his 8th year, has a defense that Manning had in 2006. Now Manning's defense wasn't dominant all season, but they really came together in the postseason, especially when safety Bob Sanders got healthy and was able to return for the postseason. Holding opponents to 8 points, 6 points, 34 against New England. You got to have a shootout somewhere. And then 17 against the Bears. So, as good as Peyton Manning was, and always will be, it took him 9 seasons to see the Super Bowl. It took him his 6th year to see a championship game. Dak has not seen a championship game. It's being close, but has not seen it yet. But Prescott's playoff woes are no different than Manning's. And then when Manning had the perfect supporting cast around him in 2006, they got over that hump. This season, we have that defense. We got Brandon Cooks as another weapon, another bullet in the gun. We shore up power back, and we shore up the offensive line, the left guard. There's no reason why we shouldn't think that Dak can get us to where we got to go. Dak has been good regular season, just like Peyton Manning has always been good regular season. But Peyton Manning's first 8 years, he had playoff woes. Dak, in his first 7 seasons, has 2 playoff wins. Peyton Manning, in his first 8 years, had 3 playoff wins. Dak, 7 seasons, 2 playoff wins. Peyton Manning, 8 seasons, 3 playoff wins. So don't count Prescott out. Don't think just because he's our quarterback that he can't catch fire in the postseason and get us where we need to go, especially when we have a defense like we are going to have this season. This defense this season is going to be something special. I think it could be amongst the Legion of Booms, the no-fly zones, those type defenses. Now, I know Micah Parsons said, the offense can't score. If the other team can't score, they can't win. No defense will ever be as good as the 2000 Ravens. Again, that was just, like Shannon Sharp said on Undisputed, one game they played Cleveland. Cleveland opened up with an 86-yard touchdown drive. The rest of the game, they had 14 yards. Opened up with 86-yard touchdown drive against the Ravens. The rest of the game, they only get 14 yards. They pitched 4 shutouts that year. We were one of them. Allowed 165 points all season. Didn't allow 1,000 yards on the ground. That stat alone just blows me away. And had 49 turnovers, 27 forced fumble recoveries, 23 picks. Now, we've led the league in takeaways 2 years in a row. Hasn't been done in many, many years since the Steel Curtain. So with Gilmore at cornerback 2, Diggs will get a lot more looks. Now, if he's more disciplined, maybe he can repeat an 11 interception season. Maybe 9, 10. We'll see. But don't doubt Prescott in the postseason just yet. Just yet. We saw the best guy, the sheriff, Peyton Manning's struggles in January, his first 8 years. And they were real. The man scored 17, 16, and he even laid a goose egg in a playoff game. And he even scored only 3 in a playoff game. Dak has only scored under 20 twice. Peyton scored under 20 his first 3 times, and then both times against New England, the first 2 times, until the Super Bowl year. So, in the only 2 times Dak scored under 20 was against San Fran, because that defense was damn good. That defense that Dak only scored 17 and 12 against was the same defense that in 2021, after they beat us, went to the number 1 seeded Green Bay Packers and held Rodgers out of the end zone. That's how good they were. They held Aaron Rodgers out of the end zone. Packers didn't score a touchdown. And they were 1 dropped interception away from beating the Rams in LA. That's how good that defense was. And last year, that defense was so damn good, they kept up with the Eagles, even though they had no quarterback, until Jim Johnson just started giving the ball away. It was tied at 7, and then Jim Johnson just fumbles the ball deep into territory, and it just fell apart. But their defense, had they had Cooper Rush at quarterback, San Fran, that Niners defense would have kept them in the game until the 4th quarter, and then it would have been a coin toss. That's how good that defense was last year with D'Amico Ryans as coordinator. Won't be as good this year because losing a coordinator like D'Amico Ryans makes a big difference. They will still be very damn good, especially getting Hargrave, but not as good. So this season, have your hopes high. Because even though in Dak's first 7 years, he hasn't gotten over the hump, doesn't mean that he can't. Everybody said Peyton couldn't do it. Especially after the 2005 season when they went 14-2 with the number 1 seed, had a road to the playoffs, a road to the Super Bowl, paid for them, and Pittsburgh goes in and knocks them off, 18-21. Go downstairs, dog. After that, everybody said Peyton couldn't do it. Peyton couldn't get over the hump after that 05 playoff debacle. But then the following season, he showed everybody that he's not just a regular season quarterback. He's a playoff championship caliber quarterback. Prescott needs weapons. Manning could take 3 guys off the street and make them 1,000-yard receivers. Dak can't do that. But Dak has the supporting cast that he needs and a defense that he needs. And he can very, very well get us over the hump this season. This is the best roster I have seen us assemble since I was in 3rd grade. That was 1995. And guess who we played week 1 that year? We opened up at the Giants. First drive, We received the football. I thought it was the first play, but it was like the second play, I believe. Emmett up the middle, like 77, I think it's 80 yards. Emmett up the middle, 80 yards, untouched. We beat him 35-0 to start the season. I had to go to bed at halftime. I was very upset. It was like 14-0. And I had school the next day. I wanted to watch the whole game. And I woke up the next morning, saw the Star Telegram was 35-0. Boy, I read everything Mike Fisher wrote about that game. I used to read Mike Fisher's columns on the Telegram when I was a little kid. But please subscribe, like, and share, guys. Help me get to that 1,000 subscriber mark by week 1 this year, guys. And like Mike says, if you hit the like button, helps the algorithms, basically helps your video give you more. I promise you'll get first-class content all day, every day. I will never do anything half-assed. If I bring you a program or a show, I'm going to put the work into it and make it entertaining. So, to end this broadcast, I'm going to do this one more time, guys. If you have not subscribed, please show a brother some love that has a passion as much as you do. Blues, blue, and silver. Bleeds. Blue and silver. Became a fan when I was 6. When I watched my first Cowboy game, Super Bowl 28 against Buffalo at the Georgia Dome. We were down 13-6, and I said one of my first prayers, we come back to win 13-30. And I thought, because of my prayer, I thought that's why we won. So I make a joke that the Cowboys led me to Christ. Then the following year, 94, I've seen basically almost like every snap of every game. And then I played my entire youth. I know this team and this game like the back of my hand. I got a Rolodex in here. I could pull up stats and numbers from a certain season that would just blow your mind. Y'all give me to 1,000. Help me build this channel to get a microphone, studio equipment, a desktop, and a call-in line. And this show will sparkle and shine like the diamond gem that it's going to be. It'll be the best show behind laws. And maybe one day it might be as good as his. You never know. But I know it's going to pass Mark Holmes and company. I can tell you that. It's going to take years for that to happen. It's a lot of ground to make up, but it will. So, one more time, guys. If you have not subscribed, on 3, hit that red subscribe button. I implore you to do it. You will be happy you did it in the future. 1, 2, 3. Subscribe, guys. If you did it, you're a real one. Now, on 3, we're going to hit like. Please do, my friends. 1, 2, 3. Everybody hit the like button. Boom. If you did it, you're a real one. Keep God first and foremost. He comes before everything, even this. Seek Him and His righteousness, and everything else in your life will fall into place. I am a living testimony of this. He has saved my life more than once. I have seen Him work time in and time out. I've been on mountaintops, been in valleys. I'm in a little valley right now. But I keep my faith in Him, and He gives me what I need every day for that day. If you have any questions about that, and I'm not trying to make it a religious program, you have any questions about Jesus and Christianity, feel free to ask me. Other than that, Cowboys Nation, have a good week. Be careful, be safe out there. Not a lot going on between here and training camp. Hopefully the next video I put down, we do something with that $24 million that we got. Hopefully we bring back Elliott, sign Cooks, sign Dalton Reisner. Make a freaking move, Cowboys. Trade Dorrance Armstrong, free up $7.5 million to give us over $30 million in cap room, and then make a big trade from Quentin Nelson. Do a splash, Jerry. You said the last time you said that you would write a check to win one more Super Bowl, it would be obscene. The amount would be obscene. We'll put your money where your mouth is, Jerry. Because we as hungry as you are, baby. It's been since '95 since I see my boys go home. It's time to go back home this year. And this year, home is Vegas. What better place to win the Super Bowl than Vegas? That's all I've got to say about that. All right, guys, that's it for this episode. Thank you for tuning in to the Charles in Charge Cowboy Sports Report. I will catch y'all guys on the flip side. Charles in Charge is out.